Okay, boys, welcome to LJG Sports. Today we're going to predict every single game for the Houston Texans in 2025. So the NFL came out with the regular season schedules a couple of days ago. I'm doing this video right now. I know the Cowboys and Eagles are playing opening night. That should be a fun one in Philadelphia. But today we're going to talk about the Texans, and we're going to predict how many games they win this season. So obviously 17 games. I believe last year we win 9. Did we go 9-8 or 10-7, something like that? So this year we'll see if we're gonna improve, if we're gonna not. I haven't even pre-done this. I'm doing it as I'm just going through the list, thinking, okay, we'll win this game, we'll lose this game, and we'll see how many wins I project the Texans to have in 2025. So first week it is at the LA Rams. That's our first game of the year. First game of the year, I think it's overrated to have it at home. That being said, it still was an advantage to have it at home. First game of the year. I think Rams are going to be good next year. I don't think they were that good last year. They were decent. But I think this year they'll be pretty good. I'm going to give us a loss opening week. New offensive coordinator, new revamped offensive line. Defense should be really good. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Rams take this one. Then we have next week, we have Tampa Bay, our home opener, on ESPN, so that's going to be a Monday night game. I think this is one of those games where it's very 50-50. Tampa Bay is a good team. I like Baker Mayfield. I like Mike Evans. I think Chris Godwin's still there. I don't know who else they got. But I think this is going to be one of those 50-50 games. So I'm going to give this to the Texans, other conference play. I think it'll be a good game, but hopefully Texans come out on top with the home opener. So I'm going to say Texans win this one. The next week they have their first divisional game against the Jaguars. This is at Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville will be that much better than they were last year. I think they'll be decent. Trevor Lawrence, I still don't know what's going on with him and all that. They got Travis Hunter now. But I think this is a win for the Texans. We historically also play really well in Jacksonville for some reason. So I think we got this one. Next one is tennis against Tennessee at home. That should be another win. And I know last year we blew that game against the Titans when we were home. Had one of the worst teams coming to your house, and we just lost. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen again this year. I'm going to give us a win there. At Baltimore, before going into the bye, I think that's a loss, sadly. Baltimore seems to have our number. As much as I would love to see us go into Baltimore and beat them, for every time they've beaten us, back in the divisional in 2011, I believe, to last year at Christmas and the year prior in the playoffs, I would love to get back at Baltimore as a Texan fan, but I think we're losing that one. They just seem to have our number. So we go into the bye week with a record of 3-2, which isn't bad. So our bye week's pretty early. I think the earliest you can have it is like week 5. Let me know down in the comments if I got that wrong. But I think the earliest you can have the bye week is week 5. So we have it in week 6. So that's pretty early. Going out of the bye, we have at Seattle. This is another one of those 50-50 games, I think. I think Seattle will be pretty good next year. I'm going to say that's a loss because I gave the other 50-50 to us versus Tampa Bay. Next game versus the 49ers. 49ers should be better next year. This is another one of those where it's like I think it's 50-50. And I'm going to say that for the next game too against the Broncos. So I'm going to say we split those games. I'll say we beat the 49ers and then we lose to the Broncos the following week. After that, we have Jacksonville. I think we should win that again at home. After that, we going on the road to Tennessee. We should win that. Again, Tennessee should not be good next year. That should be another win for us. Versus Buffalo. Thursday Night Football on Prime Video. Texans are home against the Bills. And honestly, as of recently, we have been playing well against the Bills. I'm going to say this is a win. At this point, Nick Haley and the offense should be rolling. They should be comfortable at the very least. We should have the offensive line figured out who fits well, who's protecting Stroud. Hopefully Stroud is not taking a beating up to this point. I'm going to say we beat the Bills. The next week, though, I'm going to say we lose at the Colts. Colts will always give us trouble, and I just think we lose that one. I think we'll take them in the final week, but we'll get there when we get there. The next game we have is at the Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. I think the Texans have a really good shot of beating them here. I think this is a 50-50 game. But I'm going to say I lean towards the Chiefs winning this one, sadly. So that's a 50-50 game going in their favor, in the opposing team favor. So at this point in the season, we would have 4 games left. We would have a record of 6-6. If I've done that right. No, I have not done that right. 7-6 at this point, with 4 games left. And this is where I think we make it a little bit of a run, though, because we have, after losing to the Chiefs in Kansas City, I think we go home and beat the Cardinals. And then we stay home and beat the Raiders. I think we can take the Raiders. After that, we go to LA to face the Chargers. I think this time we beat the LA Chargers. Last time in this projection, we lose to the Rams. Week 1, I think we go in and beat the Chargers. I think this is another 50-50 game, but I gave the 50-50 last time to the Chiefs. And so this time I'm giving it to the Texans. And then we end off the season against Indianapolis. I think we lost to them at their place. I think we beat them in our place. So with that said, we would finish off the year 4-0, and we would finish with a record of 11-6, which is very similar to, I think, our record last year and the year prior, I want to say. I think we've always been around that mark. So last year we were 10-7, and then the year prior I think we were 9-8, barely snuck into the playoffs in that last week against the Colts. So yeah, 10-7 last year in 2024, and then the year prior, we were actually 10-7 that year too. So I think we'll make the improvement. I think we'll make the jump to 11 wins. I know I have the Texans going on a bit of a run at the end of the year, and for most of the year it's very like 50-50. But I think, obviously my projections could be obviously way off. I think the win total around 11 wins, 10 wins is what the Texans will get. I think we will win the division again. I think the Colts have the best chance of dethroning us, maybe the Jaguars, and then the Titans should not have any chance of winning the AFC South. We have a pretty weak division, possibly the weakest division, so that is a plus. With a record of 11-6, I feel comfortable with that. If there's a world where Nick Haley gets this offense back to what it was in 2023, and the offensive line doesn't have to be a great offensive line, doesn't have to be, just make it a top 15 offensive line. Just be middle of the road. And then with the defense playing the way it did last year and the additions we got this year with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Will Anderson having another year of development, all that stuff, Kamari Lassiter another year of development. If that defense stays as good as it did last year, even though I think it will get better, then we could have one of the better records in the NFL, in the AFC for sure. That's banking on the fact that CJ Stroud can get back to his rookie form. Nick Haley can get the Texans back to that offense back when CJ was a rookie. The offensive line can be middle of the road. That's all it needs to be. And then the defense stays the way it did last year. We will be a really good team in the AFC. And if that was the case, then I think we could get up to 12, 13 wins, which would be really good. But that's my thoughts on it. Let me know down below, what do you think Texans' record will be next year? Let me know where you think I got it right, where you think I got it wrong. What do you think the Texans' biggest X factor is this season? Is it Nick Haley? Is it the offensive line? Is it CJ Stroud? Is it the defense? Is it Kaimi Fairbairn? Let me know down below.